Okay. Video stream is up.
Ready to go?
Yeah, video stream
Hilarious.
is
You're
up.
sitting here fucking flipping them. I'm thinking that she might be.
All right, can you guys not look at porn while I fucking do this show?
This is the girls
for
he's
5
banging.
fucking minutes.
Okay, let's roll.
Okay, for 5 minutes,
Paul.
starting
Ready to go?
now.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and today is Monday, October 27th, 2017, and you guys are listening to episode 329, and a fucking doozy I have for you people today. I am sitting here in the beautiful, incredible, amenities-filled, all things comedy studios here off of, what is this, Washington Street? Or, well, you guys don't give a fuck. It's a nice day here. They have green room here. They have some Tito's. They have some beer. We have some snacks. But more importantly, I have 3 guests, guys. You guys know I've been doing this show this December 8 years. And out of the 8 years, out of the 329 episodes, I might have had, maybe 40 guests. Well, today, the Virzi Effect is loaded. I have 3 amazing guests with me. So funny, from all walks of life. I have the very funny Cort McCown.
Hey, buddy.
Hailing from Oklahoma California by way of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I have Ryan Sickler, hilarious comic, and I have the always entertaining and wild Billy O'Connor, originally from the Bronx.
Bronx, New York. Yeah. Born on Island, but grew up in the Bronx.
Good. Yes, you had to clarify. Yeah, but born on Long Island.
Born on an island. That's
I came over on the boat. I was on the boat.
Yeah.
Come over in 1950 by boat.
We're
on
here
the
at
boat.
We're here at the All Things Comedy, the inaugural All Things Comedy Festival, and I got to tell you, I got in here. It was a thrash. I got in here yesterday. I got to fucking fly out tomorrow, but what a fun time. For a comedy festival's first one, and I'm not just saying this, I was talking about it on social media. For a comedy festival's first night, first festival ever, usually comedy festivals at the beginning are a shit show. Let's be honest. You get there, they're like, yeah, we're trying to do this thing. It's one block. It's in Utah. It sucks. Nobody fucking cares. And it's all unorganized. You're at a shitty thing. You show up. This has been, I actually said this, and I know it's a big statement, but from the first night, it's been like the closest thing that I've had to a JFL experience as far as getting shuttled here, going there. Everything has been done right. The Tempe, Arizona Improv last night. Ryan was there. They shuttled us over there. Cort came after. Yeah, Billy, you were hanging out. How great was that show?
All 3 of you guys had great sets, by the way. Let me tell you that right off the bat. And I really enjoyed myself. And you can usually hear me when I'm enjoying myself. I sound like a pterodactyl or something. I got a fucking weird laugh, and I ain't
you
gonna
just
control
hear,
it.
you just like
the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
If I got to worry about my laugh or I got to worry about the way I come, I'm just going to swallow the blue flame. You know what I mean? I might just call it a day. Fuck that.
Oh, God.
We had such
this
a good
is
time.
Be a good podcast.
Oh, dude, I'm
this is
telling
gonna
you.
Be good. I like this guy.
I'm telling you.
Fucking like this guy.
Oh yeah. You heard fucking nothing yet. You heard this guy was a fucking bookie. Vietnam, started stand up at 62. You don't even fucking know. Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I've had a good run, man. I'm fucking FDNY. I was first responder at 9/11. I've had a fucking wild run. I got fucking horses in my head going in all directions.
Is this going to be the guy that shoots everybody at the All Things Comedy Inaugural Festival?
I'm getting
all of a sudden,
he
he tweaks out, and all of a sudden you're just.
Listen, I wasn't like fucking like a Vietnam fucking hero or nothing like that. I had it fucking made over there. I was getting more ass than Frank Sinatra. I was getting fucking drugs all over the place. I was a computer operator. fucking made.
Did he even have computers in the 60s? He's like, it's not really a computer, but I'm here.
I was sorry to see the war end.
The opening night was unbelievable, and then we went to, then I did Ari's podcast, which was great, and it's just been such a good time. And I'm glad that you guys.
And you ate a pizza box of fucking nachos.
And then I ate a pizza box of chicken nachos, which was a late night mistake that I wish you didn't remind me of. But this is going to be a great show, guys. First, before I get started, I just want to shout out the sponsors. The Virzi Effect podcast is sponsored by Chassis. Chassis for Men, that's right, guys. It is. Some of you people know. That's why they're laughing. People say it's the only podcast whose sponsor. I love to hear the sponsor. Chassis is a powder for your testicles. It is called Man Care for Down There, and it is one of the greatest products on the market. Fred McGriff is also a part of this. Fucking
really?
Yeah, Kenny Mayne. Chassis for Men. It's a fine powder that just, the dryness, the no chafing. My balls have been pristine. There's no talc, there's no parabens, there's no menthol. It's an all-natural powder, and my nuts have never been more pristine. I'm not even kidding you. I have doctors, pediatricians going, hey, man, I heard your podcast. Thanks so much for that Chassis plug. I've never felt better down there. It's incredible. You don't
like a little menthol burn right after a good shave, you know? Because that feels fantastic, man.
I gotta
I'm gonna
get
try it.
You get that.
No, you gotta
the
try
menthol,
this.
The menthol burn is
I
fantastic.
legit use powder, and I won't say another competitor's name during your plug. But
Well, I'm telling you this
I'm
right
gonna
now.
switch up my powder.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You get this bottle. I'm gonna give you a bottle of this chassis, and that's it.
I've been
All
powdering my balls
What
for
do you
years.
sell it by the gram?
For years. The best.
The fucking powder's
Dude,
done
that
pretty
is
good.
like when I caddied on PGA Tour. That we lived for that.
No,
shit.
dude, it
it's
is
the
like,
greatest thing ever.
It is insane. It's a great product. You get it at Chassis for Men. That's CHASSIS, chassisformen.com. Also on Amazon. Also, City Living Dog, guys, go to citylivingdog.com and Coach Mike. He's one of the best dog trainers in the Northeast, and he helped my dog. He's amazing. People from the Virzi Effect have been going to him, getting help. You could see all of his YouTube clips. You could see his Facebook Live, all of his Instagram and all that. And, of course, all things comedy, guys. That's why we're here. Al Madrigal put this thing together with Bill Burr and all of these amazing podcasts, and that's why I got people like, dude, when you meet Ryan Sickler, you and that guy are going to like each other instantly, and we did.
Instant.
It was like I've known the guy, drinking the guy for fucking 20 years, and I met him less than 24 hours ago doing shows. Cort, I've met you years ago, and we did a podcast. We did your podcast in L.A. This guy's a fucking scratch golfer. He was in fucking Teen Wolf, Can't Buy Me Love. What was the other one?
That was it.
He was in Teen Wolf too.
No, I
Yeah, but he didn't like to mention that.
Teen Wolf also.
That was a shit movie. I don't do sequels.
That was
I would
cool.
actually. I would do a sequel if they had a sequel.
And then didn't they bring Teen Wolf back as a TV show?
Yeah, with
Something
Orny,
right
with
now,
Orny
right?
Adams. Come on.
Was it?
Orny
Did
Adams.
they?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
just angry. You know, just an angry guy yelling at all his students.
I
you
really
know.
liked.
Watch my stand-up.
Pretty good Orny,
sounded
right?
like-
That's actually
that
pretty
really-
good Orny, right? Yeah, that is.
Watch my stand-up.
That's a good Orny.
I got a special coming out. I'm taping a special next week. You better fucking be there. You all get Fs.
No, but I liked when you told me yesterday that Michael J. Fox was a sweetheart. I like
Sweetheart
I like
guy.
hearing that shit.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I like hearing that, and he looks like a guy that if you found out he wasn't, it'd be devastating. Like if somebody's like, Michael J. Fox is a cocksucker, you know, you'd be like, oh, really? You know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sweetheart of a guy.
Nice.
How's he doing with the twitches and all that shit? Is he doing all right with that?
He's got it.
I mean, is it
Fucking
calming down a bit or
20.
what?
How's he doing?
I mean, you've seen him recently, right? Is he?
No, of
No,
course
I-
he didn't see him.
I-
Teen
I
Wolf
have-
was fucking 1983.
Oh no, I thought maybe you've seen him recently. I don't know. What the fuck? Maybe you stayed in touch.
I haven't
Fuck
seen
up.
him in 20-something years.
Use some of that fucking powder. This way the guy can come back
Yeah,
and say
yeah.
hello. You know?
I love how he goes. How's he? I love
Give
it.
me that stick
How's
there.
he doing with that twitching?
Did you hear that? Yeah, how's it doing with that shaking and shit? Is it
Yeah.
probably not fucking good,
I'm
Billy.
not a
Probably-
doctor. I'm not a doctor. What do I know?
He caddies for Cort, but his fucking clubs are all over the goddamn course.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't let him read putts. That's for sure. No. It's gonna go that
Jesus.
you guys are fucking brutal. This is gonna be fun.
We are.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking fun.
way. We didn't bring up the guy's twitching. You know?
Yeah, that's Billy's small talk when he meets somebody. Hey, Mike, I heard great things. Listen, how you doing with that? Is everything?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, do your kids notice when you make breakfast?
I'm glad he's doing good though. He's doing all right. He seems like he's doing all right. He got another job, so he can't be that.
Yeah.
You know, he can't be that fucked up.
I mean, that guy did what? Family Ties for like 15. That guy's got a shit ton of money. Back to the
great.
Future, all those movies.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah, but the money is one thing. But if you got that shit, I mean, would you rather have money or be able, your plumbing works, your fucking vertical, nothing hurts? You know?
Listen, if I
Fuck the money.
Yeah. So Billy, let's start with you.
yeah,
here.
let's get on the
Okay,
Twitcher.
you started stand-up. You went to Florida State as a freshman at 53 years old?
Don't say Florida State. University of Florida.
Oh, University of Florida. Okay.
My girlfriend was an academic. You know what I mean? She was getting a doctorate degree on the arm. You know, they gave her a free doctorate degree. And I was jogging by the university. I said, you know what? I always wanted to go to college. Vietnam got in the way. The fuck? I'll go to school. I started writing, and people started reading. And I said, you know what? One of these days I'm going to want to pitch a book. So I said, I see these fucking kids doing stand-up. They're all like 18, 19 years old, 20-year-old kids, and they're all talking about jerking off. That's all they talk about, because they didn't do anything yet.
That's all you do when you're 18 or 20 years old. Is jerk off.
Exactly. It's the same fucking thing with writing. You can be the greatest writer in the world. You get out of school at 22, you haven't done anything. The fuck you going to write about? Hemingway said, God help the writer who didn't have a war to go to. Well, I've had a wild run, man. I mean, I grew up in the streets of the Bronx. I was in fucking Vietnam. After Vietnam, I was a bookie for a while. Then I was a bartender, owned a couple of bars. I was doing drugs, booze. I fucked more women than Frank Sinatra. I was having a great fucking time, right? And then I got to the FDNY. I was at 9/11. So I've had a good run. And they say bad decisions make good stories. Well, I've made 1 million bad decisions in my life. I'm the only fucking guy I know with my position broke. But I'm having a fucking ball. I don't give a fuck. My plumbing works. I'm loving life.
Vertical.
Yeah, I'm
breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get on stage for the first time doing stand-up at 62 years old and seeing everybody probably, 20s, 30s, right, at the most?
Yeah.
And you just walk in like, fuck it, I'm going to try this? Or is it something you always wanted to do?
Yeah. No, I said, you know what? I always wanted to give it a shot. So it was 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes, and of course I was fucking terrified. But then I want to get up there. It was interesting because I was a gambler. I was a bookie, right? In the first 3 minutes, I was like, wow, this is the same rush you get when you bet fucking $5,000 on a game with no money.
Right.
This is cool. This is juice.
Yeah.
I like juice.
It's like action.
It's action,
It's
exactly.
action. Yeah.
What odds did you give yourself that you'd eat a big bowl of shit?
Oh, yeah. I was...
4 to 1?
Yeah, 4 to 1, pretty much.
How'd you do?
No, I did all right,
Yeah.
but it was fun because, it was just fucking fun, and it's immediate gratification. With writing, you don't get that.
Right.
But also with stand-up and you get big audiences, you could throw out ideas. And, you throw out 8, 9 jokes and 2 really hit. Well, you say, that goes in the book. That's in the book. That's in the book.
Right.
So you can, it works both ways. It's, comedy's writing as much as it is performance, right?
It's like instant, yeah.
I'm a writer.
So I've been told. Yeah.
Good writing is about
Hey, not a
eliminating
word.
meta-discourse, getting rid of words, getting rid of fucking useless words. And good comedy is about getting to the fucking punchline as fast as you can, right? I mean, with the setup is, or storytelling, I saw you guys last night. You're all fucking great. I left my balls off. Give me some of that powder. My balls are
There you go.
my balls are off. I got to put them in storage. Give me some of that fucking powder. Make sure they're cool.
That's so interesting, man. And you wrote a book. It's a great book, Confessions of a Bronx Bookie.
That was my first book. It's about sex, drugs, gambling, and the mob. Everything that made this country great.
Yeah.
I got lucky. Stevie Van Zandt from the East Street Band started pushing it for me, which was cool.
Yeah.
And the second book I got high hopes for because it's about 9/11. It's about the fire department, but the real deal, not the bullshit where I make this book makes Rescue Me look like the fucking Muppet movie. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, so
not the
but
fucking bullshit.
So wait,
this is the real deal. This is what happens.
I want to back up with something because sometimes on the Virzi Effect there is a sports segment. Not much. I'll just talk about
cool.
the heartbreak the Yankees lost. Something was going on with the Giants. Knicks always suck. Real quick, but you say now I want to talk about fixed games, and I want to talk about shit that is really because we have somebody here. I mean, I know that you knew mob guys and you were doing all. I mean, we want to keep it, but I know you know shit, okay? And I know you were a part of shit during a certain time. In your estimation, percentage-wise, today in 2017, when you watch a game, can you watch and know or think that points are being shaved or that call was because of something in order for either the league to make money or for something? Can you see that today?
Here's the deal. I don't look at games like I used to because I had so much fucking money on them. I used to be glued to them. Now I just watch the scores. But no, I tell how a game is fucked up, and this is how the wise guys do it.
This is so great. I'm
You look at
locked into this shit.
You look at a game on Monday, right? Suppose like this week, New Orleans, they're kicking ass lately, right? They've won 4 in a row. They're looking like they can't fucking be stopped. They're going home. They open up at 9.5 over the Bears, right?
Yeah.
Monday the line opens up at 9.5. The line drops to 9, 8.5, and you say to yourself, okay, who the fuck is betting money on the Bears, right? This is impossible. The line should be going to 10, 10.5.
Right.
So you look for a game that's counterintuitive, a game that's going the wrong way, right?
Right.
Tuesday, because that's when the wise guys bet. The general public bet on Sunday, Saturday. You can't change your line on Sunday because there's so much money on the game already. A $5,000 bet ain't going to do shit. But a $20,000 bet on a Monday is going to move a line. Now, if it's moving the wrong way, you got to say to yourself, why is that fucking line moving the wrong way? And guess what? If it's between you and the bookies are usually right. So the general public is going to pile on New Orleans. I guarantee the Bears win this week. Now, if I watch that game and I see, I'm telling you, I'm 8-2 for the year. I mean, because, and I bet games, I don't bet them anymore because now you make mind bets. All you can lose is your mind, right? Because I've lost so much fucking money. You can't win. I mean, you can't beat the percentages. But you look at it, if I look at a game like that and I see a defensive holding call from the interior line on the 10-yard line, you go, give me a fucking break.
I'm sorry to the Virzi Effect listeners in Vegas who stopped this and ran to put that bet. If they fucking hold the fuck on, I'm going to Bellagio to take
Send
fucking.
it in. Bet the fucking rent. Don't worry about it. Can't miss.
Oh, that is so interesting.
God
too.
hates a coward.
Ryan, Cort, and me were looking at you like we just saw like an alien land. We were so interested in that shit.
Well, here's the deal
I
with
just
bookmakers.
texted
You know
4
what?
people.
If you talk to a layman, the first thing they think when they hear a bookmaker, they say, okay, you like Dallas, you like the Giants, you bet 1,000 on Dallas, you 1,000 on Giants. I pitches against each other and I take $100, right? 10%.
Right.
That ain't how it works. That's bullshit. That's completed bullshit. Here's how it works. If you got 12 games on a Sunday, maybe 6 games will be really important to you.
Billy, can you just not fucking hammer this thing? You got fucking.
I talk
sound
like
a
a
fucking.
you fuck. I talk like you. I'm from the Bronx.
Sounds like an animal is running across this
I
thing.
talk like anyway. So there'd be 6 games that'd be really important to you. Of course, the last game, Sunday night game. If you're in New York, Giants, Dallas, 6 games will mean a lot. Now, with the juice, with the 10%, all you got to do of those 6 games is win 2 of them and you break even. Because with the juice, you break even.
Right.
If you win 3 of them, you make money. If you win 4 of them, you crush because you're getting juice.
Right.
If you win 5, you wipe them out. So anybody in their right mind is going to hold 6 games on the premise I only got to be right 2 out of the 6, and I break even.
Right.
So you don't got to worry about laying off money because all your players are going to go broke anyway. So why should I take fucking $5,000 that you're going to go broke on eventually by the end of the year and lay it off with him and give him your money?
So can you just tell the story about the guy who was having a really hard time gambling and he
my-
called
my
somebody?
buddy Blinky.
Listen to this.
My buddy Blinky.
His buddy Blinky. Fucking my buddy Blinky. He's got a gambling problem.
But Blinky was a bitch. Well, Blinky had lost like fucking 16 games in a row, right? Every fucking week, 2 games, toilet, in the toilet, down to fucking south, 16 games in a row. Finally, he says, you know what? Fuck this. I'm calling a service. Calling one of these guys. These 5-star services. He calls the guy up. He gets the fucking credit card. The guy says to him, now look, you put the credit card in, you got the number on the back. Yeah. Now this is our 5-star release. He says, this is, we don't release this all the time. $200 paid, everything else. He says, okay, I did it. What's the game? He goes, the Colts. He says, the Colts, even though Burt Jones is out? The guy says, Burt Jones is out? He said, you motherfucker. I said, come to the fucking phone. He says, Burt Jones is out.
Oh, that's great.
Jesus.
Ryan Sickler is here, everybody. Originally from Baltimore.
Which that was a Baltimore Colts story right there.
There you
Burt
go,
Jones,
brother.
yeah, man, number 7, yeah.
And you were a Baltimore Colts fan, right?
I was until they left, yeah.
Now, did you start stand up in Baltimore?
I did very briefly though. I started stand up in Baltimore when I was 20, but then life got in the way, and I didn't start again until I was 27 in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of life got in the way?
A lot of people's life ending got in the way. a lot of important people. Like my dad died. Then I was living with my grandma.
Oh, man.
She died, so it was all work. Actually, I have a bookie story because I wanted to ask you. Did you ever run numbers?
Well, numbers is like what most guys do in bars, and they usually give that to the runners. Like, so Joe Pesci used to be a runner for a big bookmaker.
What's running numbers? Explain running numbers to me.
Well,
I'll tell you how this guy. I'll tell you how this guy did it. So I worked at to put myself through college. I worked at UPS. Shout out to UPS Baltimore Hub, Primary One, Joe Avenue.
Oh shit! My stepfather worked at UPS for fucking 25 years.
There you go, man.
UPS delivers to my house all the time.
There you go. I worked my way up, got to know everybody, and there was one guy that would sit in the cafeteria, but this was a hub. This was still Teamsters full-time, one of the last full-time hubs, and it's a monster building. This guy he had gotten out of prison, and his job through the state was he was responsible for filling all the vending machines and everything. I would say that cafeteria was as big as all the way this whole entire room here.
Okay.
And it's just lined up vending machines with sandwiches and those kind where you slide the window open and there's a meal and shit in there. Like he was in charge of all that, keeping everyone's lunches for him and shit. That was the job that the state gave him after he got out of prison. He got out of prison. He went to prison on a life sentence, did 18, got out for good behavior because he came home and found his best friend in bed with his wife. And he shot them. And I think he killed the best friend, and the wife made it out. And back then, they didn't have temporary insanity or any of these pleas that they came up with later, so he served a 20-year life sentence, got out in 18. This was the job the state gave him, was you work in the fucking UPS cafeteria and stock the food and stuff. But he couldn't make a lot of money doing that, so his side hustle was two things. He was a bookie. He would do all our fucking football, college bets, everything. And then he also ran numbers. And the way he did it was you use the lottery that's on TV. That's still your numbers. That's still everything. But instead of giving the government your money, you give it to me. And then if you hit, you get paid more and you don't get taxed. So it behooves you to pay me to do this. We're still going to use this system you see on TV here, but your money's not going over here. It's coming over here.
Right.
So every night he'd have a pick 3 and a pick 4. And he'd leave around, I'd work doubles, so he'd probably leave around 7. And he would just leave a napkin sitting on the table. And there would just be 3 numbers and 4 numbers. And everybody would have to go through the cafeteria to get to the restroom, so everybody took their break to walk by and check. And I played a pick 4 with him for months. And one night I got there late. And there's no texting or anything then. He's like, where were you? I said, man, I got stuck in traffic. He's, your number's hit. I go, come the fuck on. I would just throw a buck down.
Yeah.
And that night it hit box. And box is like, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, that means that those numbers can come up in any order. You can play straight, you can box
it's like horses. It's like with horses.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any
number. And it hit that night. And for that buck, I would have made $2,500 fucking dollars. I was devastated at UPS.
Now, but were you guys scared of the guy?
No, he was this older white dude. The dude's name was, I probably shouldn't say. Well, I guess I can. I won't say it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But
listen, if he fucking...
It used to be numbers guys would hang out in bars or places like that.
Pat.
If the guy popped into a room and started shooting people, I don't want to,
Yeah, I mean, if Blinky ain't coming down, Pat ain't.
I don't even know if he's around anymore. This dude might not.
Imagine you just saw you just saw Pinky and
he was older.
Yeah, Blinky and Pat.
Blinky and Pat are just walking down the street. Where the fuck is his studio at?
Pat'll put fucking real deal holes in your ass.
Yeah.
They give the numbers to the runners because it's like the odds are like if you pick three numbers, right? They pay you 600 to 1, right? It's the end of the parimutuel, usually the paper. But the way they do it in New York, you open the parimutuel, the last 3 numbers of the parimutuel, that's the number for the day. They pay you 600. Well, of course, it's 1,000 numbers, so the odds are 1,000 to 1. So you're shaving 40%. You can't fucking lose. So numbers are that kind of deal. I tell you, Don King got his start as a kid, 7 years old. That's how smart this motherfucker was. He used to buy peanuts, and he put a tip on the number in every bag of peanuts that he sell in a gambling parlor. And he'd keep track of all the numbers. And if a guy hit the number, he'd come back and say, how about a tip for hitting the number,
Wow.
That's how fucking slick he was, Don King, back at 7 years old. That's what he fucking...
Wait, where did he grow up?
I don't know. Where did he grow up? In Detroit? I don't know. I know
Detroit's
he went to the fucking... I know he went to the Rumble.
Call.
He went to the Rumble in the jungle with fucking Ali on his way there. He came back with Foreman. We went with Foreman and came back with Ali. I know that. So that's pretty slick.
Oh, shit. So, and Cort, you are a fucking professional golfer, basically.
I'm not a professional golfer.
But you could play. But you're a scratch. Well, here's the thing.
I'm a decent golfer.
To me, listen, I know you caddy for some of the pros, but here's the thing: when you're a scratch golfer, to me, if you played Augusta, what would you? Could you shoot a 70?
I don't know, man. Augusta's a tough track. It's tough. There's there's guys there that shoot 5, pros that shoot 5 over. Who knows? I mean, that
you could break 80 there.
Probably break 80 there.
You could break 80 there. Yeah.
I would put good odds that I could break 80 there.
They push it all the way back, right?
Bet?
With the pros,
yeah, they push it all the way back.
They push all the way back, make the greens.
But also that thing is shaved. Like those fairways are shaved, and there's no like Augusta's the one golf course why Tiger Woods had so much success there, is that you can miss. There's only a couple holes that you really can't miss your drive. The rest of the time, and there's no real rough there. So like Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, his miss is high right. If you ever watch Jordan Spieth play golf, he's playing
incredible.
Shitty when his drive misses to the right. That's his miss. So Augusta is one of these golf courses where if you miss to the right, you're in the pine straw. You're not buried. You're not blocked out.
So Spieth's mistakes at Augusta don't really kill him.
Don't really come. Tiger was the same way. Tiger's miss was a big push right, and so Tiger could bomb it at the time before they call it Tiger
Cort,
proofing.
is Tiger done?
Done.
Will
It's
Tiger
over.
win?
Didn't he just
No.
get a reckless driving charge like yesterday or something?
No. I mean, that's a while ago when he got
was it?
when he
Fucking
got-
I thought he
Tiger
got another
Woods,
one.
man.
I don't know.
That's like that fall from grace. I put up there with that's one of the biggest falls from grace. You're talking about a guy that was not only was he unbeatable. I mean, they said that they try to how unbeatable was that guy?
He was completely unbeatable. He was also an asshole. I mean, I used to caddy.
Everybody great is a fucking asshole. Jordan's a fucking asshole.
No.
Everybody who's great like that.
But you can't blame Tiger, man. Come on, pussy killed King Kong, man. You know what I mean? We got no chance against pussy. Planes didn't kill that beast. Blonde pussy made that fucking monkey crazy.
Pussy killed King Kong is the line. I don't care what else. I don't care what the fuck else is said on this podcast in the next however long I'm on here. Pussy killed Kong King is the line of this.
Kong King, yeah.
King Kong, whatever the fuck his name. That is the greatest.
True.
It is
The fuck?
true.
We have no chance.
It
We
is.
have no chance.
Yeah, he fucking did.
Dude, I
when
used
you're
to
that rich.
I used to caddy for Jesper Parnevik. So Jesper Parnevik's been my friend for 15 years. His nanny married Tiger
Right.
Woods. So I met Tiger when they first started dating. So I met them in 2000. I met him in 2001.
Wow.
When him and Elian just first started dating. Then it was very private. They kept it private. No one really knew they dated. They dated for a long time before they came out. Then they got married. He was never like the friendliest guy, but I would go have dinner. I would have dinner with Jesper and his wife Mia and Elian and Tiger. We would, we'd have dinner together. I met him several times.
Always a dick.
Just not friendly. Just not a friendly guy. And then one night I was in Florida visiting Jesper. I was doing Palm Beach Improv, Joel Bashkoff's club. And I was doing Palm Beach Improv, and I went there to see Jesper. And Jesper just had hip replacement surgery. So he's literally in bed with the machine moving his leg, recuperating from this surgery. And the next night, I went down to Miami to go to the Colts-Dolphins Monday night game. Well, the owner's a buddy of mine, so we're up in the box, and he goes, Peyton gave Tiger a field pass. And he goes, Tiger's probably going to come up in the box. He goes, just, let's all be cool and, whatever. And I go, I could give a flying fuck. I met this guy like 10 fucking times. Who gives a shit? And so he walks in the box. Now, this is like September before the November meltdown. So this is like a month and a half before all this shit went
right
down.
around
Holy
Thanksgiving.
shit.
So right before this whole thing goes
You
down.
are welcome, Virzi Effect listeners. You got bookmaking. You got all this fucking shit.
So Tiger comes up in the box. He says hello to everybody in the box, and then he sees me, and he just kind of looks at me, and he just kind of gives me one of these those fucking head nods.
Like the quick,
Like the quick head nod, like fuck you, and then goes back to texting on his phone, and I was like, what a fucking dick.
Yeah.
So I call up Mia. I call up Jesper's wife the next day, and I was in Miami, and I go, you wouldn't believe this fucking cocksucker. I tell her the story, and she goes, hang on. And I'm on her cell phone. She grabs her home phone. She calls up Tiger, and she goes, you motherfucker. And she she just goes, do you know how many fucking times in our lives we have been nice to people that come up and say they're your friend, and we're nice to them, and we're
And you treat them like shit.
and then you have somebody who you fucking know, you son of a bitch. She goes, I can't fucking believe you would do that to Cort. She goes, you're a fucking asshole, and she just fucking hangs up the phone.
Michael J. Fox never treated him like that.
Yeah. And so she hangs up the
Holy
phone,
shit.
and then she gets back on, and she goes, I took care of that. And I was like,
But she let you hear it, huh?
Yeah, she let me hear it. So she goes,
That's
I took
awesome.
care of that.
That's
Then like
fucking
an
awesome.
hour
Of
later,
course, she's a European chick too, right?
she's Swedish. Yeah. So an
so-
hour
okay.
later, she calls me. She goes, Tiger wants to leave you a message. Can I give him your phone number? I go, fuck no, don't give him my phone number. And so,
Really?
Yeah. So he was real apologetic. So then cut to a month later. And what he was doing is he was texting pussy on his phone.
Right.
He was down in Miami.
Oh, shit.
And he was down there doing one of his little fucking
own Bumble.
recon message. Not his own. They didn't have Bumble then.
they didn't.
He just take him up in the plane.
Yeah.
That guy had the greatest. I got to say though, if you're gonna bang girls and you got billions of dollars, the way you do it is you get them. You tell your wife you got a business meeting. You go get on your jet. You fly around. Fuck them midair, and then land, get them off the plane, and go, yeah, it was a great business meeting. Okay, just me.
The guy that did it right is Derek Jeter.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just
right.
don't get married. You
Yeah.
just don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
married.
Well,
But he
that's
didn't
the whole
pretend
thing.
he was a family man or any
That's
of that
right.
bullshit.
He didn't put
just,
on any.
we
yeah,
all
he
knew who he
just-
was.
He
and
was the fucking captain of
That's
the
right.
Yankees and the
Well,
captain
well,
of
Tiger's
fucking
Same thing with Namath.
Period.
We knew who he was. He did what the fuck he wanted to do.
Well,
But
Tiger's
he ended up getting
downfall
married.
was that he came from this military father who was so on top of him his whole life. I mean, that guy was like a thumbs down on him his entire life. And then his dad passes away. He's married with kids, and he's like, fuck it, I got nobody to answer to now. This is the first time in his life he's been free, so he's banging Hooters waitresses. I mean, he didn't even bang hot chicks. Do you see some of these girls?
But here's my
It was
question
like,
about this.
ugh.
Here's my question about this though. How does that fuck your game up? Like if you have a jump shot, you have a jump shot.
No, because golf is 90% mental. 90% of it's mental. And you look at all the guys that are out there playing, and you see how on tour, how 1 week some guy is just better than everybody else that week. It's just he fucking got dialed in. His putter got hot.
So you think his confidence just?
It's all confidence. That's why Tiger won so much. Because back then, man, Tiger had the lead, and you're like, oh, there's no fucking catching this guy. And it's like there's no way I can catch this guy.
That's
Nowadays,
anything, no confidence. If you don't have confidence, you're fucked. I mean,
But imagine
Yeah.
going anywhere in the world where people are just shitting on you all the time. Like even if you had a scandal, it would not be on the level of a Tiger Woods scandal where they're talking about it in fucking China and shit. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
thing. Like
It's everywhere.
Yeah, like we
It's
get
a
upset if like
constant
one of our
reminder.
friends is like, "Hey, dude, they're talking about you down at the comedy club." Said you're like, "Hey, who the fuck?" Would you imagine like on the cover in Moscow? You're on the cover in Moscow, like.
and they got some
Yeah.
hoof you hooked up with
Her
the night
home
before.
country
But
too.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
all
yeah.
everyone's shitting on
Yeah,
you.
if
The
they had a
world
pic- if they had a-
shitting on you.
If they had a picture of you standing over that nacho box last night on the cover of the newspaper, you would be upset about that, man. You know,
But
who's
only
fucking
Phoenix would
woofing
know
those
about
nachos, pretending like you're just
Yeah,
snacking.
yeah.
Court made a great point about the father being on top of him.
Yes,
And
yeah.
once you get loose, man, I was 18 years old. They sent me to Vietnam. I got the Vietnam prostitutes for $4 a piece. I was a recovering. I swear to God, I was a recovering Catholic. My
That is
testosterone
the cheapest pussy I've ever heard of in my life.
$4.
1966. We get 3 for 12. I swear to God. You walk into a fucking bar.
3 for
12. I was 19.
Was it a fucking McDonald's meal?
Hey, I was 19. I was a recovering Catholic. My testosterone was through the roof. I could handle 3 fucking for 12. You walk into a fucking bar, there'd be 100 fucking names, right? 100 numbers up on a big electronic board, and 100 girls dancing with numbers on their back. You just go number 2, number 16, number 21, and then 2 minutes later, they're out here. You pay mama son
I'd always take number 69 just for shits and giggles.
I can't believe
I'll take
that.
69.
Yeah, man, I would have fucked a rock if I thought there was a snake under it.
What? What? Wait a minute. How does that?
I would have.
But how is that? I don't understand the saying.
Well, the
If
war
they-
was on, man. The war was on. You know,
What does that have to do with the war? A
No,
snake
but I wanna
under a
know-
rock.
I want to know
Fucking
what's the snake doing.
You could have died. I'd fuck anything. I mean, beauty's only a light switch away. Fuck it. I turn out the lights and say, okay, I'll take her, and her, right?
So were you worried about STDs? Fucking.
Oh, I caught the clap so many fucking times. I had my own coffee mug over at the infirmary. They thought I worked there. So go over there.
Oh shit! I cut the claps.
Are you fucking kidding me? But we didn't have all this bullshit, all this shit that you guys got out there, AIDS and herpes and all that shit.
Well, it's only us that
Yeah,
have
you
AIDS.
motherfucker, we didn't have any of that shit. Some fucking
You
idiot.
can still get it, just so you know.
Some fucking idiot goes and fucks a monkey or some shit. What the fuck?
Dude, I remember college. We didn't have any of that shit, man. In college, we didn't have any fucking.
Yeah.
It was like there was no AIDS.
I never used the rubber, man. We never used the rubber in my generation. That's why my generation's leading the fucking world in STDs now. It's the only senior citizens are fucking catching a clap and all kinds of shit because we never used the rubber. We don't put a raincoat on. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
I can't imagine now, you know, coming back from there. I probably was with, let's say, roughly 600 broads, right, in a year. Right? Now I come back. What am I supposed to do? I'm 22 years old. I'm going to go out for a burger and a movie. If that ship is
So
fucking
were you,
sailed,
Billy?
that ship is gone. You know, forget about that shit.
Wait, no, but Billy, were
I
you
was
getting?
at
Like
the
I'm
pros,
gonna
man.
give you
I was at the
$4
pros.
and you're gonna fuck
Yeah,
my
go-
brains out
yeah.
for $4.
Were you getting a prostitute every day, Billy, or no?
4 days. But
For
I get my
12
hands on.
You were just all day. That's what soldiers were doing. Was just fucking.
That's what I was doing. I don't know what the rest of them were doing. I didn't give a fuck.
You
I
know,
was-
they were losing because he was
Fighting a
supposed
war.
to be computer
Fighting a war.
program and shit for their
Where is this?
That's
Billy?
why we lost, right here.
Damn it, fucking Billy! He was supposed to be monitoring this shit.
I was playing poker. I was fucking making money. I was
This
buying
is the
fucking.
guy that's supposed to be doing the strategy.
Exactly.
He's banging
Billy's
horse
the
3
only
at a
guy in
time.
the 60s in Vietnam who treated it like it was a fucking, like a resort. No, Billy's got poker at 3, and he's got 3 hookers. He's locked up today.
After payday, 3 days straight, I'd play poker, take the suckers all their money, right? Then I'd fucking go downtown. I'd be buying R&Rs from guys. You're married. You don't want to get the clap. Here's $500. I'll take your R&R, right? Go downtown.
Wait, what's the R&R?
Rest and recreation. Rest and relaxation.
Oh, you mean
know.
you bought their time
Yeah,
so
like
that
you
they
get
didn't
5
get in
days
trouble?
R&R.
You go do
I'd
it
say,
for
I'll
them.
take your R&R. Here's $500. Send it to your wife, and I'll take your R&R. I'd be downtown banging more broads. It was great.
Oh my God.
I think you get Quaaludes right over the drugstore. Like you go to a
Quaaludes
drugstore.
were the fucking
Quaaludes,
best.
codeine, get bottles of Robitussin AC, no problem. Right over the weed. I was paying
You
$1.
said bottle, but you held your hands up like a 3-liter.
Robitussin and Quaaludes was like the deal.
Oh.
And you could get a fucking shopping
Robitussin and
bag full of Laotian weed. I'd get a shopping bag full of Laotian weed for $20. A shopping bag full of weed. I'd be fucking chopping it up, roll a joint, throw the rest off the table. I said, one of these days I'm gonna fucking kick myself in the ass for this.
Meanwhile,
it was
there's an
everywhere.
empty computer in there going, Billy, we're under fire. Billy! Billy!
They're coming!
Give me a few minutes.
Charlie's in the wire. Charlie's in the wire. Charlie's in the wire. I don't give a shit.
Relax, man. I'm getting to you. Relax.
His fuck-ups went high enough for the president. Like they were like, yeah, this one guy is just... The president's like, get me a general. Why is the same fucking area losing?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was fucking trip, man. It was a trip.
Billy, it's fucking your fault, Vietnam.
I tell you what, man. When I came back, I started bookmaking. And I went to New Orleans for a
Funny,
week.
he came back. A lot of them didn't.
Yeah,
Billy
no,
came
yeah.
back.
Let me tell you something,
With
man.
the clap.
No, but legitimately.
All the guys are coming back with PTSD.
Man,
You're bringing
I
back
got
STD.
that ain't fucking nothing. I got PTSD.
He's got no
STD.
PT. He's just got the
I got
STD.
the whole, I got the whole fucking package. But let me tell you something. Legitimately.
Listen,
$36 in pussy took the U.S. down.
Well, at least we went in a good cause anyway. That's what we were
shit.
fighting for. What were we fighting for that to begin with? We were fighting for pussy. We're always fighting for pussy.
oh, fuck, dude. I don't
But
remember the last...
legitimately, the two fucking most poignant things I ever heard about Vietnam, and I read everything I could get my hands on about Vietnam when I came back, was Tim O'Brien with the things they carried. 2 quotes. One, he said, and this is true, all the fucking time I had over was great, but still you're 22 years old. It's an amazing fucking alteration of your life. He said, when I came back from Vietnam, I had the strangest feeling that I was older than my father. And that's absolutely true. You get that. And the other thing he said was, do you have any idea what it's like for a 20-year-old kid to be walking through a napalmed village and see pigs eating roast people? Now just think about that. What that's a 20-year-old kid seeing that shit.
But you never saw that.
No,
though, right?
no.
You were just eating pigs. You were just eating
I was
pigs.
eating pigs,
Yeah, you were just eating. Number 2, number 7, number 14.
Come here, baby.
I'm gonna eat that bitch.
What a slob I can make out of you. Come over here. Let me see what kind of a slob I can make out of you. Rip those nylons. Smear that lipstick. Let me see what kind of slob.
Your day was so different than the guys in the shit. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, a whole different world. Yeah, I had a whole different... You know what? Your buddy Bill Burr does a great bit about that. I saw him do that bit when you opened for him at the Tempe Improv.
What?
And he did the bit about... At the Tempe Improv, he says... You know, not all of these guys were heroes. Okay, you were in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And he does the bit about the aircraft carrier,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
thinks of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, what about this guy? The guy who points after the aircraft takes off, right? As soon as he said that, I said, that's me. The motherfucker's talking about me.
Yeah.
You know, and guys tell me, thanks for your service. I'm like, fucking thank you for sending me, motherfucker. I had a ball.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Great. Thanks my service. I should have paid my fucking way over there.
Could you imagine?
He only had one uniform. He only had one uniform and like 50 pair of underwear.
Yeah, you picture Billy at the University of Florida in history class, and they're talking about the devastation of Vietnam, and he's looking around like, it wasn't really that bad.
Wasn't that bad.
I got
Wasn't
it.
that bad.
Can we talk about the whoos?
I had a fucking history teacher at UF. He says to me in front of the whole class, right? He's talking. He says, and you know, in the 60s, these guys had social consciousness. And they went out in the streets and they protested the war and they were marching for civil rights. And I'm like, and he goes, yeah, Billy, well, you were around there. I said, yeah. I said, we didn't have social consciousness. We were out in the street because that's where the pussy was. I said, what do you think? I came back from them. I grew my hair long, put on bell bottoms. I said, somebody said something about free love. I said, well, the price is fucking right. Free love? I'm in on that. And I was out there fucking hoping for the best. You know?
I feel like you were like Rodney Dangerfield in Back to School.
I was kind of.
Yeah, like
a lot of guys broke my balls like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you did you go to the student parties and like go to the?
Nah, I think these guys used to call me up and ask if I want to play Nintendo and shit. Yeah, don't do that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Nintendo this. What are you
Like, show me a $4 hooker.
This guy fucked everything in Vietnam. You think he wants? You think he wants to play Excite Bike?
These kids are
I
playing.
haven't thought about Excite Bike since
swear
I
to-
turned it off the last time.
This guy was in Vietnam. Now he's playing Donkey Kong.
Fuck out of here. I ain't doing that shit. And then you go to these fucking parties and the broads, all these young, beautiful girls, 18 to 22, will be in the other room. And these guys be playing beer pong and shit. I said, what are you fucking crazy? Look at all those fucking women. And you're playing beer pong? Fuck beer pong. Go talk to the broads. Anyway.
That's great. Oh, that's
had a lot of
fucking
fun at college.
Oh my!
You guys are listening to the Virzi Effect, episode 329. I'm sitting here with Cort McCown, Ryan Sickler, Billy O'Connor. What such a great time. How are we doing on time here? What do we got? Another 10? Oh yeah, good. We got another 20.
Beautiful.
Nice. That's beautiful. Let's
I'm having a fucking ball.
Look, Billy's like, let's get some fucking whores in here. We got 20 minutes.
Who's got $8?
Quaalude?
Who's got $8?
I need a Quaalude. I need 3 for 12.
Who's got $8?
Also,
We can all get laid.
Yeah, getting a 10 back then must have been like fucking getting a 10 spot. $10 must have been nuts in Vietnam.
Over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, that was the commodity we were buying. You know what I mean? They were feeding if we were doing the right thing. We were spreading the little wealth around. You know what I mean? I always treated hookers good. I treat hookers like queens. That's one of my deals.
He was the Derek Jeter.
Always.
Did they get a Vietnam gift bag?
Here's $4 for my little queen.
Treat a whore like a queen and a queen like a whore, right? You can't fucking miss. You can't fucking miss.
Aristotle said that.
I think he did.
Right after he was in Vietnam.
So you have, I imagine you have a small check coming in as payment from the government, but the way you're making your other money is just by gambling and buying people's
fuck it. You
R&R?
can't make a nickel gambling, man. That shit's out the window.
I mean in
Look.
Vietnam.
Oh,
I'm talking when you were there.
Yeah, I was making a lot of money playing poker.
That's where
I
you were
used to have
making your
guys-
real money.
guys
You're
used
making
to-
more than you were getting paid to be there, right?
Forget it. 40 times more. Guys used to sit down in my poker game with, like, you know, put down the, the thing inside a deck of cards that said what beats what. You know, and they'd be sitting there, and I'm in a 1-20 game, and I said, well, this guy be broke in 20 minutes. I'm going to rape this prick. You know, like, I was a honed gambler at that time already. I was already, like, you know, I was into all of that shit. Poker. I've been gambling since I was fucking 4 years old. I actually played poker one time with, who the fuck was it? Little Anthony and the Imperials, man. Remember Little Anthony and the Imperials from the 50s? You don't remember that group, huh?
No.
I was like 4 years old.
I can honestly say, finally, I wasn't alive then. That's the first time. That's the first time I've ever said that. I've never said that before. I wasn't alive then.
Finally.
I like this fucking guy.
He looked at us like, you guys remember Little Anthony and the Imperials? No, I was 4. Yeah. You fucking no, none of us
No,
remember that.
No.
Played poker with him, 2-cent poker, you know, just fucking around. So I was always gambling. And we used to, you grew up in the streets. You played stickball, you played for money.
We played.
Played
but-
for money? You
But I
always gambled.
was outside the city. My dad grew up kind of like where you grew up.
We gambled on everything. There was no fucking fun if you didn't gamble. What the fuck is the sense of playing if you're not going to gamble on it? And it just carried over, you know. The only reason I became a bookie, I was so tired of losing fucking money. I said, I might as well take the
Well, you said something before that I think really makes a lot of sense. You said being a stand-up for somebody that gambles. And it's funny, like Charles Barkley says the reason he puts $100,000 on games is because he doesn't have that that rush. He doesn't have in the playoffs, has to perform. So he really gambled a lot when he was done because he got that feeling. So what you're saying is for stand-up, you were going like, I'm going on stage. You were like, it's nervous. You got to make them laugh. You might bomb. You're scared. And then when you get done, no matter what happened, something happened, you get that feeling.
Exactly.
And that's
You guys still get it.
That's the
Otherwise, you wouldn't be
drug.
doing
That's the rush.
stand-up.
Dude, when you had 500, I remember one time I was young. I was in high school and I didn't have money, and I put 100. Me and my friend would always put 100 on the home team on Monday Night Football, and we won it a lot. Monday Night Football home team covered a lot. You know, I remember we did the numbers. Like, let's do it. So we bet Green Bay won, and I won like $300, $400, and then I got greedy, and it flipped to where I went negative 700. And I was a kid, and I remember being scared, man. Like I didn't have it, and the guy's like, dude, you know, you played with the big boys and shit. Like you owe $700. And I just remember, like, when a pass is in the air, a bomb is in the air, right? And it's like a fucking 70-yard bomb to Moss. When you got $200 on that shit,
it's a whole different
it's
deal.
like
Oh,
it
God.
makes
It's a whole different deal.
It's just such a fucking unbelievable rush. But you can't win in NFL football, can you? You can't
No,
win. Overall
impossible,
game, you're not going to win.
Percentages, it's math. Math is a pure science. They're taking 10%, right? So that means if say you bet 10 games a year, 10 games a day, 10 games, period. 6 out of 10 to break even. 7 out of 10 to win a little bit of money. 8 out of 10 to win any real money. Nobody can hit 8 out of 10. I'll give you a quick story. I had this guy, degenerate gambler, Tony Ferret. You know, Norm McDonald used to bet with me years ago. He never met me. I never met him, but he bet with me to run. He was like 6 games a night.
Wait, Norm gambles, right? Norm
Yeah,
gambles?
big time. Six games NBA every fucking night. He never met me, but my voice, he might recognize.
I love that he tweets. He tweets.
Give
every
me the
golfer.
money, Norm.
But anyway, this guy, Tony Ferret, degenerate gambler, right? He calls me up, fucking Monday night, 4 NBA games in the toilet. Next night, 3 games NBA in the toilet. Next night, 2 nights south. He hits like 14 losers in a row in the NBA, right? Calls me up on a Monday night. I give him his figure. He goes, yeah. What do you got in the NBA? I says, you know what, man, Tony? No NBA tonight. All-Star break. I said, I got hockey. He's hockey. What the fuck do I know about hockey? You just picked fucking 17 losers in a row, you cocksucker. You don't know nothing about nothing. What do you know about hockey? A fucking monkey couldn't pick 17 fucking losers in a row and became a piece of chalk. What do you know about hockey? You don't know fucking nothing about hockey. You don't know nothing about the NBA. You just want juice. What the fuck?
Oh shit. Oh my God, dude, this is so much fun. I could just listen.
I'm having a ball, man. I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are great.
This is
fucking great. Easy. It's like fucking sitting down when you're.
I gotta tell you, man, Phoenix is underrated for comedy. I was out here. They gave me a weekend here at Stand Up Live. It was amazing. Right before the special, people come out. Tempe, that Tempe room is amazing. And people come out here. People come out like they wanna. Dude, this is a podcast festival, and people are fucking in the streets with badges and going to shit.
Yeah, they've been great. They've been great.
It's really been, man. It's a cool place to do it because some places can't pull it off, but Phoenix is cool.
You can get a lot of stage time in Phoenix. You know, like if some kid's coming out of college, the first thing he thinks is, I want to go to New York, do I want to go to L.A.? And you're going to get lost in both places, you know. But nobody thinks, let me go to Phoenix. But when a lot of headliners come in from L.A., they need people to open.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can get a lot of stage time here. I mean, I got better, you know, and if I can get better, anybody can get better because I'm a fucking screwball, you know.
You just did. You were with Florentine, right?
What
At
a
where?
great fucking guy, man.
One of the Jim
fucking-
Florentine's
you know
one of the
what a
nicest.
fucking
Yeah.
sweetheart. I spent 4 days with that fucking guy. It was like spending 4 days with you.
Oh, I
A
appreciate that.
fucking sweetheart. I mean, a really fucking nice guy. You
He's
know?
Jim is one of those guys that you meet. He's just like you're like he's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a good
yeah,
dude.
great,
That's
really
a
good.
He's
solid
great.
dude.
He is great.
Yeah, we watched some football Sunday.
What did you got? What did you do? Which room did you do?
The House of Comedy, Rick Bronson's
Okay.
show. Rick is always good to me. He's a good fucking dude. He read both my books. He keeps one in the toilet. He says, look, I hope this doesn't insult you, but I keep your book in the toilet. I said, no, that's cool. Like, you know, I wrote it like that. I wanted it like toilet reading. You know, it's one chapter at a
Guys,
time.
check that out and buy it. And where could they buy it? Where could they buy
Well,
it?
the new one's coming out. It's called The Mick. It's about a 9/11. I got hopes for that. I got a couple of producers interested in that.
But what about the one that's out now? Can they get it on?
Confessions of a Bronx Bookie.
Can
It's
they-
on Amazon, Kindle.
Confessions of a Bronx Bookie, and yeah.
Reviews are off the hook, man. Just
No,
take
you're a
look at
great. No,
reviews.
for the people that don't know, you know, Billy's a really great writer, man.
Writing's my thing.
Yeah, that's what you went to school for, and it's
That's
really.
my thing.
yeah.
I tell you what, I fucking wrote that book in a year. It took me a year and a half to edit. I finally got so fucking tired of looking at that book. I thumbtacked one page, each page up to a wall, and looked through each sentence through binoculars.
No, I
Just to take out fucking extra
Right,
words.
yeah.
Make it tight.
That's a burden. Like with my special's finally going to be done next week as far as everything. But I made sure in the contract we negotiated that I had final say.
editing.
Yeah.
I had final editing say. And as much as that was great, it was fucking. I mean, you're talking about all right, Paul. Version 5's coming back. You know, Oscar knows if Oscar's here. You know, all right, version 6, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That I don't want. And then here's the other thing. Then with the special, you got a director and a producer going, you might want to keep that, and I'm like, but that's no. And then,
Good for you.
but you also don't want to be disrespectful because they've done it, and this is my first one. So, you know, now I'm talking to a guy that's done it 20, 30 times, and I'm going, no. But, so you meet, and you're like, okay, and you take, but it's right. After a while, I'm like, first of all, you know how hard it is as a comic to watch yourself. Dude, to listen to yourself and to watch yourself, you're like, look at me, I look like that.
And you're looking at it under eyes that you're not looking at it to enjoy it. You're looking at it to break it down. And
I get scared.
scrutinize it.
I get scared. Like, I'm like, yeah, you have to watch it. And I just, like, I would watch 10 minutes and walk away because it's really tough to do. But finally, it got to the point where I just had to sit down and go, Paul, this is it, you know? So I can imagine a book.
No, but good for you, man, because let me tell you something. It's a rule of writing. Editing is not cleaning up after the party. Same thing with comedy. Editing is not cleaning up after the party. Editing is the party. Writing is
right.
The first draft of everything is shit. Hemingway said that. The first draft of everything is shit. First joke you throw out, it's just there. It doesn't get good until you hone it, right? I mean, you know.
That's right, yeah.
How you guys operate. It just gets better. Sometimes it grows, you know, it's like, but it don't start like that.
But I will tell any comedian listening to this and everybody is if you do a project, you have to get, as an artist, you have to get the rights.
Editing.
You have to get the rights.
Definitely.
And the first contract that comes, the first contract that comes, it's never there. It's never there, the first one. Like, you always got to be.
Well, the first one is everything they want.
Still waiting for the first one.
Wait, what'd you say, Ryan?
First contract's everything they want.
Yeah. That's
It's
exactly.
up to you to go, no.
Yeah,
red line.
Yeah.
So do you guys do that yourself, or do you get lawyers, or what the fuck's your deal?
No, lawyers.
It's worth, as a bookie, it's worth 5% to have somebody knows what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
Look at your shit.
Right.
Yeah. It took me a long time to
I
realize
just
you need a
sign
lawyer.
on the dotted line and say thank you. I'll take the $4.
Yeah, no, you got to be protected. You got to be protected because, like Ryan just said, the first one is so skewed in your favor, not your favor, that you're like, listen, and they know. That's the funniest part.
The first one's not even a real contract. A lot of times, it's just some proposal for some shit we want. Then you beat it up.
Yeah, like if you signed it, they'd be like, really?
This fuck, he Cort McCown us.
Yeah.
He Cort McCown.
God damn it, that boy signed it right away. That court took that $4. That son of a bitch.
Getting laid tonight.
Yeah. God damn it.
All right,
So
one thing I do on the show, it's a part of my show, is unacceptable for the week. That is kind of my, Letterman top 10 list, so to speak. So I know you guys, I didn't prepare you guys for that, and I usually do one. The listeners, guys, I do have one for you, and I've never had this happen to me before. I got picked up early in the morning to come out to Phoenix. The cab driver was there, and I noticed, he had a small head, and I don't know if that has something to do with it, but like I just noticed like it was almost small to the point where I was like, is this it, like that? What's that virus and shit? The Zika virus? What? Yeah.
Makes your head small.
There's a virus. What's it called?
Like Beetlejuice, like little Beetlejuice head.
Zika. The Zika virus is something that it makes your
I didn't
but
know
I don't.
that.
But
It shrinks your fucking head.
Yeah. But I don't know if he was. I mean, it wasn't like that. But it was something, dude. I get in the car and I'm telling you every stop. I was actually almost, somebody said, please live Facebook what you're doing, because I was on Facebook going, this fucking guy is stopping. Every time he stopped was as if he was going to hit a wall. Every time. And I'm going like this. And I'm starting to mutter myself, I'm getting sick. And I just threw up snorkeling in Hawaii. So the same shit starts to happen. And I'm going, I'm not throwing up on the way to this festival. I can't. I'm fucking exhausted. And he's stopping and he's going, and I'm going, ugh. And I'm going, then he missed the terminal. So as he was missing the terminal, it was more. Billy, you thought I was on a cruise ship. And I almost jumped out of the fucking cab. That's how much I wanted to get out of the cab. It was one of the most, and it was fucking horrible. Then I get on the plane, and as people are boarding the plane, when's the captain get on during that? As you're stepping on, the captain, not, when you step on, you see the flight attendant go, hey, and you go to your fucking the captain gets on. I'm nauseous now. I just dealt with that. I could barely eat breakfast. The lady was like, are you all right? She's a club soda. Like, I was like that at the airport because of a cab ride there. Unacceptable. Then the fucking captain gets on. The captain goes, hey, folks, the captain here in the cockpit. And I'm going, this never happens. He goes, look, we're not going to be serving anything for the first 35 of the flight. We're going to be in some really rough turbulence until we get past Pittsburgh. I swear to God, then we're going to be into really rough turbulence until we pass Pittsburgh. But, give it about 30, 35 minutes. And he didn't lie. He didn't fucking lie. That plane was getting to the point where people, like, the guy, Joe Matarese has a bit about the guy who plays it cool reading even during it. That guy was like doing work, and it got to the point where that guy just put his head back. Like it went from like the guy who was a fucking professional flyer, like I don't care, to where he just went, he laid back and he put his head back like, let's get through this. And it was just but that cab ride was one of. Now my wife said, I'm gonna ask you guys a question, because my wife said that cab ride cost me from my house to the airport cost me $175.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, because I live 1 hour north of Manhattan, but I had to go to Newark, and it was 7 in the morning, and I was out. I did a show the night before, so I didn't want to drive. So I'm my wife, I'm going, Stace, this guy, I'm getting sick. This guy can't drive. He was stopping even like 15 yards before a car, hard. Like it was almost to the point, guys. I thought he was fucking with me. That's how bad it was. My wife says, since it cost me that much, I should call the company. But then my question is, I don't want that guy knowing where the fuck I live. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? Like, he picked me up. So what do you think? Should I just, because it's expensive, should I try to? But I'm not one of those freaks.
You're never getting that money back.
Yeah,
It's
not going to do anything,
not
right?
gonna do anything.
And write it off, man. Who gives a fuck?
And yeah, you're paying $175 for a possible small head loser
And I
to
always
show up at your
there?
fucking
Don't you
house and terrorize
Don't
you
you
and your
have
fucking
fucking
family.
Uber there?
You know, it would be funny if I called up next time and I'm like, listen, who's coming? Is the
Little head
make
guy.
sure, can you just make sure the guy's head's normal?
Did that fucking guy ask you if the left lane was faster? Did that guy ask you if the left lane was
yes!
faster? Yes, because you put up on Facebook. He said,
Yes!
this guy just asked me,
Oh,
is
my-
it faster in the left-hand lane?
Billy,
Yeah.
thank you for saying it. That's the other thing I forgot. I left out. This guy's a fucking steel trap, this guy. We're in the right fucking lane. We're in the right lane. And people are kind of flowing left. And he goes, is the left one faster? And I want to be like, dude, you drive for a fucking living. Like, that's like a comic being like, should I hit the punchline?
I think what happened is
These need punch
I think what happened is
Does this line
I think some guy with the Zika virus took his brother's cab that morning and decided to give you a ride to the airport.
I'm going to make some guy fucking, dude.
And he had heavier shoes on.
That's
than
right,
that.
Billy. That's another unexpected. He said, "Isn't the left
fucking
lane
crazy.
faster?" And I said, I couldn't believe it. So it was really.
It's like a hooker asking you, should I take my clothes off? No. No, keep them on.
Well,
Put on an overcoat. What the fuck are clothes?
Let's talk about this for a second. Guys have fetishes. I don't understand this one. This is the one I don't understand. There's a couple ones I don't understand. Jerking off on a girl's foot. I guess. I'm sorry if this just took a weird turn, but we'll be done. But
Not really. It's pretty normal for this cast.
But
right?
what about the guys that just want the girls' clothes on and they just into some stuff that's not sexual, like, you know, like they just.
Ask Billy $4 over here.
I tell you what, I used to ask hookers, and I do this all the time. I always say, you know, because we're fucking comics, we're curious, we're fucking writers, curious. I say, what's the weirdest fucking thing anybody ever asked you for, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever been with hookers? You ask
No,
about?
I've never been with a hooker.
But that's what the
But I
first
want
thing
to
I
know the
asked
answer
them.
to that question.
Yeah, that's the first thing I asked. I said, what's the weirdest fucking thing anybody asked you for, right?
Yeah.
Plus, it gives you plenty of leeway now, right? Anything goes after the broad tells you. So this one broad told me, no bullshit. You worked at a whorehouse in Charleston, South Carolina. And she told me this guy used to come in every fucking week
Yeah.
with a crate of oranges. He put down, I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. You know it's true.
You can stop now, and I love it.
He put down a crate of oranges. He'd pay you $300, right? And he'd go up against the wall, and she'd throw oranges at him while he was jerking off.
on.
Now listen to this. And she said, but all the other girls would come in and go, I'll hit this motherfucker with oranges. Right? They were all
yeah.
What is it? I was jerking off.
Dunk the clown?
But my question is, how the fuck does he find this out? Like, how does he realize that this is what turns him on?
my
Did he start with apples?
right.
And then he'd go to fucking pineapples and realize it had to be oranges?
He was working a state fair in a booth one time. And he's like,
do you
you know
figure
what?
this
You know
out?"
what would feel better than this is a big fucking crate of oranges.
How do you figure this
She's
out?
texting her girlfriend, Cindy, we're doing it again. Warm your arm up.
The Tropicana guy's here.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I know that it's out there, but I'd step in on that.
Yeah,
Give me a
fuck
couple fucking clothes on this motherfucker. I'll hit him right in the goddamn
I was,
chest.
when I was a fireman, our checks used to come in. I was working in the village one day. The battalion chief would drop off the checks once a week. Now, payday, we'd have a couple of beers in the basement. We got 10 or 11 beers. Where can we cash the checks? The only place open in the village was a place called Alex in Wonderlands, right? It's a gay club in the village, right? Well, we go in there at 6 5, we're all drunk. Buy a round of drinks. You got to buy a round of drinks. You get your checks cashed. This guy goes to the bathroom. He goes back and says, hey, there's a guy lying in the urinal. He says, and you just piss on him. I'm like, where is this motherfucker? I'll piss on him.
Hell yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Where is he? I go 6 5 and hosing the guy down. I'll piss on that motherfucker. Why give a fuck?
That's my job. That's what I do for
I
a
made
living.
some good money that week in the village.
We were in, I was in South Carolina with my buddy. I was performing in Myrtle Beach, and I was like, dude, let's make a prank phone call. I say, you know what would be a funny thing? I go, let's call an escort and come up with something weird. So my friend's listening to me, and I call up, and I just changed my voice. And I was like, hey, man, I was like, I'm having a rough week. Can you get a girl over here? I was like, the thing is, I have a weird request. And I'm kind of thinking this on the fly. And he goes, well, what's your request? And I was like, I'm really into baseball. So I was like, and pumps. I was like, she has to be in red or pink pumps. And he's like, we can make that happen. We have a lot of shoes here. I was like, good. I was like, I'm really into baseball, so I need her to sing the national anthem in the living room. Okay, full-fledged. Does she know the words and everything? He goes, hold on. This motherfucker went back and started asking, and it was probably like a lifelong dream. It was like a lifelong dream to do it at a game. So this is their one chance. Yeah. So he comes back and he's like, all right, we could do that. And I was like, and everything has to be in like baseball's terms, like everything. And we started to get it going. My friend's crying, and then I fucked the call up because we were just laughing so hard. But when he said, hold on, and he said we could make that work, he actually took a minute and probably was like, girls, I got a weird one. And just one girl was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it.
It's South Carolina, true story, second chapter of my book. I swear to God, I call a hooker. Never been in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in my life. The chick shows up, and I know her. Yeah. I fucking know her, right? She walks in the door. I said, my name's Fred. Yeah, Holiday Inn, 202. She comes in. She goes, Billy O'Connor. I said, Shane, what the fuck are you doing here? She said, I'm selling my ass. What are you doing here? I said, I guess I'm buying it, right? So I go back to New York. This is true as God. I go back to the fucking New York, and I tell Blinky, my bookmaking partner, I said, Blinky, what the fuck? I'm in South Carolina, Charles. I've never been here before in my life. I call a fucking hooker, and I know. I said, what's the fucking odds? He says, with you? Even money.
Oh my God. Yo, this shit, I have not cried like this on a show. This is great, man. This is a Virzi Effect podcast, guys. Episode 329. Having such a great time here. Cort McCown, Ryan Sickler, Billy O'Connor. I've been crying on my show. I haven't cried like this. You guys got plugs, man? What do you guys got coming up? You guys got to check these guys out. Go to their shows. And follow them. They're all great dudes, great people first, and that's why they're on the show, but they're also so fucking funny. You guys are talking to some of the funniest. Everybody here at this festival is talking about some of the funniest people in the world, so follow them. What do you got, Cort?
Just Cort McCown. Go to CortMcCown.com.
How do you spell the last name?
McCown.
Cort McCown. Check Cort out. Ryan, what do you got?
RyanSickler.com on all social media, Ryan Sickler, and check out my podcast, The Crabfeast, which you're going to be doing tonight.
Yes, I'll be on The Crabfeast tonight.
Oh, yeah, and I got Insensitivity Training with your buddy, Joe Barton.
Yes, and I just did Insensitivity Training with those guys yesterday. And Billy, what do you got?
Billy O'Connor. Go to BronxBilly.com and check out my new book, The Mick. It's going to be out in November, Confessions of a Bronx Bookie. I got a couple sold-out comedy shows in New York to push the books. I think the fire department's going to be there, give me sirens and all the bullshit.
That's great.
Cats and whistles. So
nice.
We'll see what happens.
Guys, come out tonight to stand up live. I'll be there on the Late Show. Also, tomorrow night, I will be with the very funny Joe Bartnick. I will be doing Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie. I also got Cabot coming up. I got a bunch of new dates that just hit the website, so you can check that out. PaulVirzi.com. Follow me on Twitter at Paul Virzi. You guys are the best. Until episode 330, we are out of here. Thank you. Take care. Thanks, guys.
What a privilege to sit down with you guys.